This is the Samsung Q6F. Here you can see the model code. The first number indicates the 55-inch version, and you can see the Q6F. First of all, I need you to understand that at least here in my country, this unit came with an IPS panel, which is weird because Samsung tends to use VA panels. But you know, we are talking about Samsung, which usually sells versions with some downgrades. And I know that some people prefers the performance of a TV with an IPS panel in terms of color accuracy and viewing angles. But come on guys, we are talking about Samsung, and most people usually expect a TV with VA panel from this brand because it tends to show more brightness. But this is not the case because the brightness levels this TV has are super low. Plus, the performance in dark scenes is simply not the best. I mean, it is not so terrible compared to other televisions also with an IPS panel. But this is because the low amount of brightness helps this TV to show less clouding effect. But even so, it is still there. And you will perceive grayish colors, which from my point of view is very annoying. And by the way, something very important to mention is that my unit came with this ugly remote. Again, I don't know if there is a version in other countries with the one remote with microphone, or at least the one remote without microphone, but with a nicer design, because this remote is simply awful and not ergonomic at all. Another thing to keep in mind is that this Q6F is offered as a QLED TV, but the super low levels of brightness and the results in terms of colors are not what we are used to perceive in a real QLED TV by Samsung. I mean, we are talking about color saturation capacity. I am not telling you to do this, I'm just showing you what this supposed QLED TV is capable of in this area, which is not bad, but for me, speaking of colors and brightness, the results are more similar to what you may expect from a crystal TV, not a QLED model. In fact, from my point of view, this Q6F is pretty similar to the U8000F. I mean, it has the same design. Both units in my country came with an IPS panel, although for some reason my U8000F came with a nicer remote, although also without a microphone, and for some reason the U8000F came with slightly more brightness. In terms of image upscaling is okay. I mean, don't expect wonders because no current 4K TV will show you 4K results if the content resolution is low. Gray uniformity is not the best. You can perceive some slight dirty screen effect, although when watching content when high color volume, that effect won't be annoying. Motion handling is not the best either. It struggles when decreasing judder, and you can perceive more artifacts compared to other models. For gaming, you simply need to know that this TV does not have a game bar as other Samsung models have. This model doesn't support 120 Hz nor 144 Hz in 4K. You will be able to play in 4K up to 60 Hz with variable refresh rate technology. Performance in this area is pretty decent. I mean, it is not a TV super recommended for gaming, but the fact it has IPS panel allows it to show less ghosting effect. The performance is the same you will perceive in the U8000F, or well, at least with the unit I got, which also has an IPS panel. By the way, remember that this TV does not include the one remote with microphone button for voice commands. It includes this more basic and ugly remote. You can pair a one remote with a microphone, and the voice commands option will work, but remember this will be an extra. Keep in mind that the operating system is One UI Tizen by Samsung. This operating system is not based on Android, hence you cannot install APK files. The native apps of this operating system vary according to each country. And about the speaker system this TV has, let's say it is decent in terms of clarity or sharpness, but it lacks when we talk about bass. Here is a small test so you more or less can perceive how it will perform in real life. I just want to tell you that you may need a soundbar, no matter if it's cheap and basic.
Let's go. Oh, this place was fine before.
So if you ask me if I recommend you this model, well, if you like a lot this brand, and if you have a tight budget, and if you don't mind it doesn't include the one remote for voice commands, and that it is very likely that you may get a version with IPS panel, keeping into account its pros and cons, go for it. And that's it. I remind you guys, you can support my channel by doing some purchasing through the links I put in the description and in the pinned comment. Also, click the like button if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.